So I got tagged in another story. A lot of people tag me in like workouts of mine that they're trying, which is really cool. But I actually wrote this person back because her name is Marie Buchalova. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, don't get mad. She's like crazy muscle, like looks really good. And she's doing her back pulls. It was kind of like the same thing we've been talking about with people where they start to think that like, because it's a rope and I'm pulling it, that they're rowing it down. So there's not much arm bend. It's more our hand swing. Whereas I want elbow to break. So when she does it, it's like, as you can see, there's not much arm bend. It's like she's gonna sit up tall and then she's gonna squeeze back. So the rope goes out, whatever. So what we'll do on that one, her pull is too, I don't like how low it is. So it's fine, you can have it at any length, any height you want. But in order to get that chest up through and really emphasize like the arching up through, I would say like maybe one below the top or one below there. Because we can always go down here for lower, but in this mid-range, it's kind of hard to know where we're at unless you know exactly what you're trying to hit, right? So for the demonstration, we'll use basically the high row. So again, when she's sitting, it's her positioning of her body is great. So her butt being back and her body weight being forward is good. But what I want you to think is instead of doing this and coming back, so it's not like my goal to sit up tall and then flex in. I want to create this position. I want to create that position here. So I want to be able to just have pressure down on my shoulders so I'm locked into the cord. So it doesn't have to pull on the line that it's on. I'm setting it where I want it and I'm driving up through. So if my first motion is that. So I don't even move my body. I'm just cracking elbow, pulling hand, and then I rise up through. Rise up through. So I'm sliding elbows down into my lat by breaking. So I break elbow, lift, lift. So I never come back to here. I'm never parallel with my butt. I'm always in an angle forward in front of it. I'm driving up through. And then for lower angles, it's the same thing. So if she did want to do it here or anywhere else, it's just a matter of finding where your lat is. So I'm going to cave my shoulders in and then I'm going to lift chest up through. So I'm rounded, butt's back, and I'm going to arch and set up through. So I'm not going to end up here. I'm going to have my shoulders in front and posture up and then drag right in. So the line is a lot shorter, as you can see. I'm not reaching for things. So I'm pushing out, pulling in. So this is good for like a mid-back squeeze. Whereas up taller, you're going to get more lat because I get more arm pull. So my arm's getting pulled out, I have to pull my arm back in. So the longer I lengthen, the more lat I get. The shorter alligator arm I get, the more mid-back I'm gonna get, right? Because I'm not able to extend. I'm just getting a little bit of range, squeezing back. So the other exercise that she did is actually from our latest video. This machine obviously is meant for people to sit at and row. And there's no doubt about that, right? So, and there's a time and place for that, but you can also use machines and have them adapt to what you want from them. So basically what she is imitating in this lift is like, she has a staggered stance and has a lot of weight on the pad and is reaching down low for that thing and pulling it up. So that's fine. There's nothing wrong with what she's doing. It's just that she's so low on this pad. So she's creating this angle by being staggered here where she's so low that she can't arch. So my distance here is so low that for me to arch, that's as much arch as I can get, right? So I'm gonna grab here and I'm gonna pull and I'm only gonna get so far. Whereas if I get closer to the machine, like how I've been doing it in the videos, so I take a wider stance, not staggered, and I have my knee down on the bench. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook onto here and I'm gonna have my forearm, all my weight on my forearm. So I'm sitting down now and I'm low. All I do is posture up high and then drop out. So I never come back to this reaching. I lock into lat and then I dip in that locked position and move. So it's almost like a super tall one arm barbell row. Going up through, up through. So the biggest key for people when they do things that is super lengthened in front of them is like, I don't want to stay in this lengthened position and then pull from here. Because one, to get out of this position without posture, I have to momentum to get that thing back, because I can't squeeze here because I'm stuck. You know what I mean? So I'm lengthened outside of my shoulder. So when I roll in and I lock up into my chest, I can drop my hip and drive. So I'm not reaching with hand. I'm letting hip down and hands going out, and I'm driving up through. So a lot of people will see like these super lengthened things. Like even if you put this on here, it's like people see they can get lots of range here. So look how lengthened I can be, right? And they want to start here, and then they go, and they just think because I got this maximal stretch, that me working through to the maximal depth automatically works my back, which is asinine, because it's like, if I'm here and then I'm just getting here, and just the act of pulling is somehow activating my back, like, you're a little wacky if you think that, right? So like, I have to be here, even if I want to sit here and be super lengthened, I have to sit into where I want. So I have to posture up and lock in, and then even from here, when I'm locked, I'm leaning forward and driving back. So I'm keeping the shoulder down and rolling. So it's always my hand letting out, my hand dropping and pulling. Just trying to keep that shoulder set down so we don't get this happening. Because this is doing a whole lot of nothing other than making you good at pulling stuff, right? So if you really want to get good at starting a lawnmower, then you should keep doing that. But if you want to grow back, you should probably start learning how to engage and use posture, right?